Hello! Welcome to OJ Studios. Please enjoy 2023's first short story, Spending More Time with My Daughter by Olivia Julius. Spending time with my daughter. Look, I agree with my wife. I should be spending more time with my 8-year-old daughter Emily and spending less time in the office. I know work shouldn't be a priority, but I am this close to getting a big promotion that will see me as a partner at this law firm. I'm working my butt off to give her a better life. Trust me, it will all be worth it soon. The last 2 times Emily and I were supposed to do something together, something came up at the office and I had to leave. Emily seemed to agree, I would apologize, and I would leave and bring back pizza when I got back. Both times I guess I didn't see that Emily was really hiding her emotions. Hannah, my wife, wasn't happy about my constant running offs and leaving her to do damage control with Emily. So, she decided to act for herself. Using the powers she was born with, created a spell that forced me to spend time with Emily. One that I would not forget. It started a few weeks ago when I got home late from work. I was supposed to go to the zoo with Emily that day, but the Jackson case that I had been on suddenly took a turn for the worst and I was forced to go into damage control. By the time I got home I thought everyone would be asleep. But I was surprised to find Hannah still up and looking over her spell books. I apologized for having to leave, but Hannah didn't say anything. Instead, she just closed her book and stood up as she examined herself in front of the full-length mirror. Tomorrow is Emily's first day of ballet class for this year, she said with some disappointment in her voice. Okay. I said I got out some case documents from my briefcase and started to look over it. Did you get that Leo thingy that she needed? I asked, laying on the bed so I could read them. Her leotard? Hannah asked. Yes, I got that along with her tights, hairnet for her hair buns and new ballet flats. All the things that I had asked you to get weeks ago. Sorry. This case is taking longer than I had thought it would, I said, trying to end the conversation so I could get back to the case. You know, Mr. Jackson sees you more times than your own daughter gets too, Hannah said, leaning against the wall. Mr. Jackson is on trial for murder. He needs me to help him prove his innocence, I retorted. But your daughter needs you more. Hannah took the documents away from me, forcing me to pay attention to her. Do you know how disappointed she was when you told her that you both couldn't go to the zoo today? Do you know how long she stayed in her room and cried? Of course, you don't. You never know. What do you want me to do? I asked, getting off the bed. Do you want me to not accept cases? To not further my career? To not be able to pay for this house or your expensive lifestyle? I don't see you complaining when I bought you the BMW. I didn't see Emily crying when I bought her that pug she had wanted for Christmas. I want you to be a father to your only daughter before she grows up into a woman that despises you, Hannah said. I'm trying the best I can, I whispered. But it's not like I can magically be released from my responsibilities. Hannah smirked at that. You are a piss-poor excuse of a father to Emily, she said, sighing. That's why I am giving you a choice. Either go with Emily to all her ballet classes and recitals or we will be done. You know I can't do that, I said. I got trial in a month, I got to prepare. I could see Hannah smirk at that. I know, that's why I'm forcing you to. She stood and grabbed her wand from the bookcase. What are you doing? I asked. Hannah pointed it at me, and a bolt of light came out of it and hit me right in the chest. I looked around and didn't see anything different. I was still the same 30-year-old man in the same old room. What did you do? I asked. Simple, Hannah said. On Tuesdays and Thursdays you will now get off of work at 3 p.m. drive over here and go with Emily to her ballet classes. The spell will make you. You know I can't do that, I said. My heart was bounding. My future was hanging on by this case. If I took off too much, I could lose this case in the partnership. Oh, you will, she retorted, because at 4 p.m. on the dot every Tuesday and Thursday you will turn into Emily's younger sister and go to class with her. What? That's crazy! Do you know what that means? I demanded. It means you will finally spend time with your daughter, Hannah said, crossing her arms. Just as a good little sister would. For how long? I asked. Well, let's see here, it's August now, and you and Emily will have your final performance in May, so after that the curse will be lifted. The next day I got all my stuff done early at the firm and had my secretary cancel any appointments after 3 p.m. All day I wondered what the spell was going to be like. Was it going to hurt? Was Hannah going to keep her promise and turn me back into a man afterwards? Once 3 p.m. did hit, I felt the power of the spell force me to stop working and to go home. I did and drove straight home. Once I got home, I kissed Hannah on the cheek before going into our bedroom so I can change out of my suit and tie. I looked at the mirror and wondered if this was the last time I was going to see my face again. At 4 p.m. on the dot my whole body shuddered as I felt the changes all around me. My feet were the first to change, they got smaller, too small for my dress shoes, so I had to kick them off. The spell started to creep upwards on my legs as they started to get smaller and hairless as they went up. I started to shrink as my body had a hard time supporting a half-man and half-girl monstrosity that I was becoming. Once the spell got to my penis, I could feel it shrink and rearrange itself to be a small female's urethra. All other parts started to form slowly and take place. My body was now too small to have my pants and boxers around my waist, and they fell away, leaving me half naked. The spell continued to go up my body, and my highly muscular body for years training in the gym turned into soft feminine flesh as I started to get the curves of a small girl. My button-up dress shirt was now like a dress on me. It was the only thing that was keeping me modest. My arms started to shrink in size as just as my legs, my arms started to become hairless. I felt my arms and just felt the soft smooth skin. There was no proof that at one time I once had been a quarterback in college or that I had been to the gym at all. As the spell worked to my head, I could feel the 5 o'clock stubble disappear as my head became more rounder and more girly. My brown eyes became a dark blue and my hair went from short brown to long chestnut color, going all the way to the middle of my back. I was now a 7-year-old little girl. Once I was done, Hannah looked me over and clapped in excitement. "You look wonderful!" she squealed. "Do I?" I asked before realizing that I couldn't remember her name, only that I called her something other than her name. "Do I look better, Mommy?" I asked in a childish voice. "Yes, Princess, you do," Mommy said before giving me a hug. "Now let's get you ready for your class." About an hour later I am in the ballet class. I'm sitting cross-legged next to Emily while wearing a blue leotard, white tights, and pink ballet shoes. Our teacher Mrs. Andrews looked down on both Emily and I and smiles. "Emily, how about if you come up and show your sister the different positions of ballet?" Emily looked back to me and smiled. "I'll be delighted too," she said, but then in a low whisper she said, "I bet Daddy will have fun doing girly things."